The elimination bracket game that is going to shake up everything. Who is going to come out on top of FaZe versus Spacestation Gaming? This is where we get personal, folks. This is where I think the big storyline really lies, is the fact that this is pretty much a roster swap, essentially. So FaZe looking really good last event, best placement that they've had for some time, but also the best placement Suppressed and Fal have had as well. A little bit of a surprise, and I know that there's a lot of drama surrounding it, so no one really has the correct story. Will we ever get the right story? I doubt it, unless you're hearing from all of the players themselves and they agree on something, but a lot of drama did go down. Fal, Suppressed, they went to SSG, SSG wanted them, and then we saw a FaZe pick up of Lucid and SnakeBite. Now with that trade, do you think both teams are better off? Do you disagree, Tony, with any of the trades? Would you wanted to see a mix and match of something different? Or are you happy with how things have turned out?
Actually, I'm happy with exactly the way things turned out. I mean, Spacestation Gaming wanted two players that fit their playstyle, how that they wanted to play objectively and Slayer-wise. And then on the other side, FaZe, the chemistry from this roster and what they look like right off the rip, I want this exactly the way it is.
Honestly, it's funny to kind of look at players, and especially compared to literally last event, and look at how they are just lighting up the stage now compared to last time, where it was really dull and really difficult to watch, to be perfectly honest. It wasn't the players we were expecting to, to be performing on our screens, but you see like SnakeBite, you see Lucid especially, who I feel like lost his shine going to SSG, as well as StelluR and Eco. And it's really just opened them up fully here to perform the best that they can. Do you think it's going to take time to see their full potential once again? Or do we have that here and they can slot right into place?
I think all these teams are going to improve the more time they have together, but you look historically, games played, 3 of the 4 of the FaZe roster have a lot of play time together. And also I just want to highlight how natural did it look to have SnakeBite back in a FaZe jersey. He lifted a Halo World Championship in that exact jersey, so he knows how comfortable that shirt fits, and if he can play to that kind of level, then FaZe are going to be feeling pretty good.
We can see right now with the stats, some overview, some results, there's lots to take in here. And of course, the Slayers is a big one for FaZe. They're 6-0 in Slayers, although with that tiny little bit of information, the fact that they're not actually happy with how they've been performing in Slayers and how they're approaching it, although they're getting away with it, and honestly significantly well, because they're not close scores. They've been close to steak dinners in some cases for other teams against them, and others honestly not even reaching the 40 mark as well. So looking good, but they're perfectionists, I guess. Map count's looking pretty clean too, 16 and 6, and then a very similar story on the side of SSG. Honestly, these two teams right now couldn't be closer, Rob. It's insane.
Yeah, this paints the picture perfectly to have both teams 5 and 1, to have both teams with perfect pools. As you said, 17 and 7 and 16 and 6 respectively so far. Unsurprisingly, nothing separating these two, and that's exactly how we'd want it. However, it's only going to be a best of 5 that decides who gets to keep playing today. Indeed.
Tony, I think one of the big things that came from the roster swaps was play styles, right? It's all we were talking about. They don't want to play like this. This is too slow. We need to get fast. There's lots of memes flying around in Twitch chats. All, you name it. It was happening, right? What do you think about the play styles here on the stage, the clash? Who's got the better play style? Because right now they're looking comfortable, but really, who's going to take the dub based on how they want to play?
And that's one of the things that makes this the best rivalry in Halo right now, is that stylistically they got exactly what they wanted. I want to see great objective efficiency and coordination coming out of FaZe, but SSG, they thrive in a bit of chaos. I want to see them get a little muddy, get a little down and dirty, especially with players like Suppressed, who are going to hit you with these crazy angles and these crazy routes. I think stylistically they match up against each other, and it's going to be really fun to watch.
I think it's really interesting to talk about stylistically how these two teams are going to approach it, because FaZe, I think, when I look at this FaZe roster and the way they want to play the game, they don't mind giving you a little bit of extra map if they can bait you into a position where they're going to pick up a first kill. The other side of it, they'll take the map. SSG want to take the space and take the fight. So it's going to be this wonderful kind of chess match on some of these maps that we're going to see of who's going to take the space and win that first fight, or is it going to be the trap that's set for FaZe and they're going to win that engagement and get that first kill.
Love chess, love the analogy. What you don't want is to sacrifice yourself on that stage to make sure that you guys are getting through that series with a dub. Well, this is it, folks. First one of the day, a big, big series, and they're going to be like that all day long. Spacestation Gaming, your hometown team. Spacestation fans, you better get loud. Those boys need to hear you. And FaZe fans, if you're also rivaling, you better scream your lungs out, because you're going to need them. Spacestation versus FaZe on set, and Bravis, over to you.
Let's do it. Big, big game to start the day. Bad, bad blood between these two teams as well. If you don't know what happened, go and have a look on social media. Check the Twitch logs, because there were some words exchanged between teams, players, but now the beef gets settled. FaZe versus SSG, and we start off with CTF Fortress.
This is the match that we came for, make no mistake, just because this is an elimination semifinal. These are the two teams that we wanted to see everything settled between. As we said, a lot of words exchanged. This is not just a traditional esports rivalry, this is bad blood right now in the water. And only one team will be able to say after this series that for now, they have won the trade. That has been the question for the past 2 months. Which team has gotten the better deal here? Which team will outdo the other? Well, guess what? We get to settle that between them in a direct 1v1 matchup here. It's not about where they place in the bracket. It will be decided here in your first match of Championship Sunday.
And it is an elimination match as well, so it's not just we beat you, it's we sent you home for both of these teams. FaZe versus SSG. SLC, are we ready for this one?
FaZe Clan versus Spacestation Gaming. We're underway here in game number 1. It's going to be CTF Fortress starting things off with StelluR on Spacestation Gaming.
Oh, this has just got such a big match feel. Championship Sunday has never felt so important when you have a matchup like this between two teams. StelluR's going to have to do some work here as one of the last alive, manages to take down Lucid. But on the back foot early on here, SSG, a SnakeBite will sneak into the spiral, hits a quick no-scope and gets that snipe out of the hands of SSG and into the hands of FaZe.
Man, this is nervy. Keep in mind, some of the first shots of the day and they have to face off against now their biggest rival, as we said. With so much exchange, not just in the community, but the trash talk directly between players who are now ex-teammates on both sides of the stage. So much riding on this game number 1.
2 dead on either side at the moment, but good early aggression coming in from FaZe, which is something to certainly note. Lucid tries to tee up Falcated and actually helps both players stay alive in that situation. Now they're going to reach out. Fal stays alive thanks to StelluR. A couple of extra bullets as TriPPPeY will respond.
See what Trip can do here, and it's pretty good game number 1. When we think about game number 1s in a series, you kind of want a map like this where it's just going to be an absolute bloodbath back and forth between who can get initial control. And of course, with only 3 caps to win, 1 flag is such a big deal on this map.
Certainly is indeed. There's an opportunity for a 3 dead here if they can find the player ring 1 for FaZe. Fal was still alive, which is why TriPPPeY's rotating. I think they're trying to just force spawn them on one side here, potentially towards the armory. But Eco's managed to get out of that spawn, takes down the sniper rifle. TriPPPeY just a little bit off with some of those shots.
See what Eco can do here. Of course, all eyes now going to be bottom middle once again. And as we said, not only are those flags so important, but it's also, of course, all about who can grab that overshield, making sure you're pushing in, taking that advantage. Going to be popping up in 5 seconds. 5
seconds until that overshield. You can see that Eco is trying to already put pressure on the tower, but the pressure
big.
Initially will be onto Spacestation Gaming as FaZe picked up a couple of kills. But like you say, that big kill from Eco just slows things down for a second, but it is Pznguin who gets away with that overshield and puts it to use, picking up 1 slay here for FaZe.
Fal does really well sitting front base right on the bonfire, make sure to get some extra damage to make sure the overshield is neutralized in the end, and that's really, if you can't grab it, you need to make sure you're shutting it down. 2 dead still for SSG.
Precious having to play nice and slowly here inside of his base, just waiting to see where the FaZe push is going to come from. Now they've got a little bit of support from a teammate. They decide to push out together as a 2. StelluR gets that kill. Pznguin will trade out the kills, but StelluR is still alive until Pznguin slides out for his double kill. Going to be a 2v2 split on the map.
Here comes Pznguin trying to fly across. Eco's in the same exact spot. It's a very important 1v1 for Pznguin to win. We'll see how long he can stay alive in the spiral. Here comes the help and ring.
Something I love that I'm seeing from FaZe here, immediately after getting a couple of kills, getting straight into the SSG base, getting straight onto the respawners and putting pressure onto SSG, something we've been slightly critical of historically with the 3 of the 4 players here on FaZe Clan. Sometimes can be a little bit slow to put the foot down, but they're certainly trying to put that right here.
Oh boy. StelluR hits the first shot, makes it count, gets the cleanup. 3 dead, SnakeBite, last player alive, flag is running.
Suppressed gets around that corner as well, and Suppressed has got that flag over halfway home. Oh. And StelluR's hitting domes. That's a nice shot from him, and that flag is still moving.
They're letting it go. SnakeBite's not even going arches. This flag's going to go without a doubt. FaZe is actually going to let it go in. SSG with the first flag on the board, with some great slaying coming in, and StelluR not only hitting that snipe, but I love how he uncharacteristically did not fly right to the arches for SnakeBite. Instead, he goes ring and looks for the spawner on the back flag, and you can tell SnakeBite wisely knew, hey, if we lost our first spawner, I am not going to solo push arches in a 1v4 and make anything happen here. FaZe is forced to let that flag go, and they find themselves 2 dead yet again.
FaZe now knowing how efficient that Spacestation Gaming are going to be when it comes to that objective. The first time we see that flag move off the stand, it ends up back at home. And with Suppress now picking up that next overshield, Spacestation in a great spot here in this game one.
Yeah, look at that. 2 players already on 9 kills on the side of FaZe Clan, but regardless, it's Suppressed who's on 8, and more importantly, with a flag on the board, he's still got about 60% of overshield to play with as well.
Playing this one slowly as well, just not getting over-aggressive. Now, though, he has the opportunity to do so because the blue dome finds TriPPPeY. Will stick to him, and now with 3 dead, FaZe on the back foot once more.
Pznguin still alive in A1. He's taken down eventually, so it's a staggered 3 dead. TriPPPeY's your first spawner.
TriPPPeY first spawner. SnakeBite's just come up. They should be able to hold off this push from SSG, but again, playmaking ability being shown by Suppressed in that little run. First the overshield, then the stick, then the pressure. But this time, it'll be FaZe who do not crack under such pressure.
Trying to hold down ring. Lots of angles to challenge from here. Knows on the wing that he needs to play this just a little bit slowly. Doesn't want to lose this position as it's a 3v3 on the map.
Find Suppressed as well. SnakeBite going to clean that one up. 2 dead here for SSG. Need to put the accelerator down here, FaZe, to try and get onto the SSG side of the base. But you gotta win those kind of fights, and that's what Foul has been doing all tournament long.
I was gonna say the same thing. Not the first time, even in this game, that we've seen Foul kind of turn around and win a battle that he really shouldn't have won. So he is shooting well indeed. He's 9-9 right now in game number 1.
2 dead though for SSG, even after the disappointment of the result of that 1v1 that we just saw. They are keeping the pressure on, and Lucid is going to win his own 1v1. A perfect from him on Suppressed in the basement. And now Pznguin looking to put pressure onto respawners. 2 players from SSG have managed to get out of spawn, but now being a little bit trapped inside of the base, FaZe have the opportunity to put some pressure on here.
StelluR does really well to fly bottom base, making sure they take down Lucid. Notice that in the kill feed. Lucid was a big threat, as we had just established. He's winning 1v1s in the spiral, but they make sure to prioritize that now. All eyes bottom middle, overshield popping up right now.
Overshield popping, you saw this. StelluR managed to kind of sneak out in that situation, which means that maybe he's going to be able to pressure that overshield. Pznguin's kind of split on what he wants to do in this situation. And Falcated actually going to get away with the overshield, but FaZe set up to absolutely melt it. 3 dead here for SSG. An opportunity for FaZe to get that flag moving.
This has been continued pressure for the past 2 minutes or so from FaZe, and they've slowly inched their way, as you have to do on Fortress, to the flag. Here comes the flag run.
Everybody respawning on the snipe side. The mortar strike comes in as multiple grenades will take down that flag run. You wonder if he hit the G-slide.
Yeah.
Maybe he has an opportunity to get that into the ring. And FaZe now find themselves 3 dead, and Lucid has to hit some shots. Well, there's the first.
Hit a shot, he does. I agree. I think everyone watching who's watched enough flag runs on Fortress or tried to force enough flag runs on Fortress, he did not get that front base toss the way he would have wanted. Pznguin. Shots continuing to connect for Lucid. And instead, that flag kind of stayed. It was a little stuck on the front door, and then he gets trapped in the bond. And you could tell if he maybe had a different timing, anywhere between a half a second to 1 full second, he might have been all the way in ring and avoided those grenades.
Still a 1 flag game here, as Lucid is looking to clean up his own damage. 2 dead. There was another player just snuck past him. He's going to find that out. Luckily, he has a route which just, I thought for a second, was going to be enough to keep him alive. But StelluR now is last player alive for SSG.
It's a big kill.
Has to think about what's next. There is a huge kill from him onto Pznguin.
Big pair of kills for StelluR as a last player alive. And it feels like with every single 1v1 here, with the history between these few over the last few months, every single 1v1 has a lot more, as 3 will fall for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, FaZe looking like they were going to pull a flag, and now they're having to defend their own. StelluR doing a great job as last alive to pick off 1 kill, do damage to another, and then with the respawn and move forward and put pressure onto the FaZe base. StelluR, who came back to life yesterday, it felt like. Well, he's looking like he's found a way to pressurize the spawns here of FaZe. And his last alive, he's now going to be the first to move that flag.
There's the tree slide you want. He's already in ring. We'll see if he can continue this run, but it was 3 dead. He's finally taken down. They will need to continue slaying. It's a 3v3.
Overshield is up as well. Suppressed is going to grab it, and now he can force this flag. He could go brute force if he wants to. Get that one back to the courtyard, but FaZe Assigner around him. It's 3 dead now for SSG.
Wow.
StelluR and Foul quickly off the spawn here. FaZe have not got that return.
StelluR going arches. We'll see if they can double stack this return. It looks like they will have the timing on it. And my, oh my, Suppressed kind of just ran into a whole lot of trouble there with the overshield. He couldn't really make up his mind on how he wanted to engage. And in the end, tries to run the flag and runs into a whole lot of resistance. As a result, 3 dead for SSG. They will keep the game at 1-0. But also, let's not forget, 3:24 on the game clock.
Game clock starting to be an issue here for FaZe. Have to keep an eye on that. How many pushes can they put together in that time to try and tie this game up? 3 minutes is looming on that game clock now for them. And with the speed that this game has been played at, it feels like they might have maybe 1, 2 opportunities to get that flag moving.
How about Pznguin on your screen? 20 and 11 in a game they are still trailing by 1 flag. He's got to be thinking, okay, what exactly do we need to do as their numbers look so strong and they are outslaying? What do they need to do to get a flag in? They're trying to figure out that piece of the puzzle right now.
Pznguin's done everything right in this game so far. A couple of players are going to catch him off guard potentially here as Fal will try and chase him down, but look at the movement from Pznguin. He stays alive long enough to allow the rest of his teammates now to move up into the base. Sniper in the hands of TriPPPeY. He's getting aggressive here. They're blocking quite a few spawns though, FaZe. How do they run this one?
Eco has a big 1v1 opportunity. That's a big win, but TriPPPeY takes too much damage. 3 dead for SSG.
3 dead for SSG. Where are the spawns going to come in? SnakeBite is blocking some of those spawns, but he's got a sniper rifle, and SB is going to work. It doesn't matter where you spawn if you've got SnakeBite looking at you with that sniper rifle.
Those shots will secure the flag. It goes in, and FaZe Clan looked like they were in trouble, but making the shots count is SnakeBite, ensuring that flag comes home. We're tied up here at 1-1 with 2 minutes left.
SnakeBite is on a run here. It's 3 dead for SSG. It's 4 dead for Spacestation Gaming. And for 1 down, FaZe Clan look like they're going for a double cap here.
In a game that they had trailed for the past 9 minutes. What can TriPPPeY do here with the flag?
TriPPPeY's got overshield. TriPPPeY wins that fight against StelluR with still 2 dead. They have an opportunity to continue running it, but it looks like they want to just take a second here.
They're running. All 8 players up though. They start the run, they continue the run, but they delay yet again. Watch the kill feed here.
Game on a knife edge. If the kills go the way of FaZe, the game
suppressed
could go the way of FaZe. StelluR's down. SnakeBite finds 1 as well. TriPPPeY just hunting, looking for the opportunity to jump on that flag. Gonna spot out this player in the basement. Another player flies through though. That's gonna be Eco, but Eco, he gets 5. Pznguin grabs that flag.
Where's Suppress? Suppress has not been killed. He's bottom armory right now. He is the biggest threat.
StelluR in ring as well. He's putting pressure on. Lucid trying to stay alive. Nades are gonna fly in. He jumps over 1. He hops over the second. Will the third be enough for Spacestation Gaming to shut down this flag run?
SnakeBite with huge kills there coming in as well.
Suppress is going to find another. It's 3 dead, and SSG will get this return. And they're going to run a flag of their own. Lucid off the respawn cuts the flag run down, though.
Suppress was alive for the past 2 minutes in the opposition base. They could not take him down. He gets away with murder in the opponent's base, so we're tied at 1-1.
2v2. StelluR got a touch. Fal gets a kill. And now FaZe, who are thinking, hey, we just need a couple of kills and we run this flag. I've got to be worried about losing this game. Suppress gets another touch on the flag.
He needs to drop and slay. He needs to stay alive here. Falcated coming off the spawn. We will have a raw 4v4. Flag still down front base.
StelluR gets the first kill. Suppress can't get the touch. Kills being exchanged. A couple of plasma grenades going down. Eco has to use every bit of his IQ to play this situation perfectly.
2 dead for SSG here. Eco needs to be very careful.
Pznguin finds 1 though, and Eco is now last alive. Suppress has just come off spawn. And FaZe have somehow or other, by the looks of things, managed to get in a position to send that flag back home. Overshield comes up, and we go into overtime. Next flag will win. What a start to this series.
My God, and talk about how different were the last 3 minutes of that game relative to the first 9 minutes of the game. Unbelievable. The flag does not get pulled in the end. We do see a FaZe return to keep things calm, but how long was the FaZe flag out? How long was Suppressed alive? One of the longest, I would say, lives in main stage history on Fortress. Just getting away with absolute destruction and murder in the opponent's base. 2 dead off the rip.
2 dead here, and as you can see, it was Lucid who had that overshield, which allowed him to get in his possession to be aggressive. Finds a kill down on ring 1, but essentially now, neutral position on the map. But Pznguin continues to be aggressive. I love what I'm seeing from Zain. He is taking every opportunity to get inside the SSG base.
Runs out of ammo. StelluR takes him down, punishes him for that one, but I agree. We talked about Pznguin when they were trailing 1-0. He was already 20 and 11. And FaZe had to be thinking, let's keep playing our game. We are outslaying, as StelluR picks up another one. We are outslaying, and it did, in the end, get them the flag. However, now with OT, 4 minutes left to see if the team can get the flag. If not, we will continue sudden death.
All scary moments here for FaZe, though. You can see that StelluR, he's up on his perch, looking for respawners, looking to pressure some of these FaZe clan members. Turns his attention back to TriPPPeY. That is so important. He gets that kill.
1v1 with Lucid in that moment. Lucid wins it and makes sure to take down the sniper. He's got 4 shots left as well, and goodness gracious, some unbelievable passages of play so far, and how fitting that it comes down to a Lucid versus StelluR 1v1 in that moment. Lucid with now 2 shots to play with.
Can't quite connect with that first. One bullet now to play with. Is it going to be a headshot? Foul picks up a kill, which is going to give a little bit of space. That is absurd.
The answer was yes. It was going to be a headshot, and if there's one man who's going to make one last bullet count, leave it to Lucid. Hits an unbelievable angle there on the player on BR, and now he will continue advancing. It's a little bit of a split here on the tower side.
Might have a flank on StelluR here. I think he got spotted out though. Repulse is going to keep him alive and stop that damage from the grenade. It will just be a trade inside of the base, but FaZe now find themselves 2 dead, but SnakeBite has found himself an overshield, but he's got 2 players from SSG in front of him. As you like to say, a target-rich environment, but he chooses the right ones.
Chooses the right one, but Eco with some very good shots. Essentially, they 3v1 that overshield, and it's a really good way to neutralize it, as you just saw on the screen. There's only 238 left in sudden death, and based off of what we've seen so far, not just historically, but in this game alone, we could see a lot more CTF yet to play. We'll see if either team can find an advantage in these final moments. It certainly happened within regulation.
Eco flies in to try and deal with Pznguin, will be able to just about do so. SnakeBite a little bit trapped on the respawn here himself, and StelluR is flanking Lucid with an important kill there to make sure that FaZe keep the numbers equal.
Very important angle, I agree. Anyone who's played enough of this game type knows exactly what we mean. 35 and 23 for Lucid, by the way.
Map control here for Spacestation. You can see Foul is pushed up into the ring, but just as they get that element of control, FaZe get the kills required to start putting pressure onto the SSG side of the base. TriPPPeY gets that kill.
Oh boy, 2 dead.
StelluR on the respawn. Is he going to hit the G side this time around? He goes the more traditional route. Suppressed is behind enemy lines still, though. And StelluR has that snipe. Suppressed
behind enemy lines. That has been the theme of the past few minutes, and he stops the run yet again. Returned immediately.
StelluR's just looking for targets at the moment. SnakeBite's actually overextended here for FaZe. He's got into the basement of the SSG side of the map, and I'm not sure if they know about it.
Looks like TriPPPeY looks like he's checking back stairs still. They might have an idea there could be someone here. How do they play this? Suppressed still on the stairs.
Pretty sure that Lucid had a sniper rifle as well, so we could have a kind of snipe versus snipe situation. Lucid hits his!
2 dead already.
Lucid gets his, that's gonna be 2 dead.
They win the base trade so far. Can they continue slaying?
Oh
That's
my.
3 dead!
Tommy Wilson. Oh, switch to the bandit, make it simple.
Look at the flag, look at the flag!
Foul has to go huge, he gets the pull! But FaZe have a chance to close it out here.
On the 3 dead, SnakeBite got the flag all the way back here.
They get the overshield, FaZe get the overshield. They have a chance here, FaZe, to win this game. Flag is still away, but Suppressed is putting pressure on. Now they can slide in, FaZe will get it! FaZe will win game 1! But my goodness, what an introduction to this series.
Lucid with the 1v1 sniper battle. Of course it was going to come down to a Lucid versus StelluR 1v1 to see if the map would break wide open. And it's getting 3 dead, and even though Falcated was not finished on the BR and gets a pull, FaZe keeps calm. As you say, they grab the overshield as well, and then they're able to get the kills they need to get the quick return and escort that flag home. It's a 2-1 win in overtime, and Mark, I could not agree more. That is a non-traditional CTF, the way that was played specifically, with bursts of energy and momentum from both sides. Let's take a look at the stats, because Lucid just dropped a 37 and 25.
Yes, he did indeed. One thing that stands out to me when you're looking at teamwork, assists column. Look at the assists coming in on the side of FaZe compared to SSG. Now, I will say that StelluR might look a little bit lower on the assist, but of course, most of the shots he was hitting with that sniper rifle were headshots, so they're not going to be body shots that get cleaned up. But it just felt like in the big moments of that game, FaZe just had that little bit of extra teamwork, whether it was returning a flag or whether it was capping, the right decisions were made at the right time.
Also, how interesting that it came down to it. It was a straight 4v4. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from that fantastic game number 1. What a table setter overall, but so interesting that it would come down to a straight 4v4 with a base trade, with both snipers at mid-map and each team having 1 member in the opponent's base. And FaZe just so clearly wins it. They get the first 2 picks. As we said, Lucid wins a 1v1 against StelluR, and even though Falcated was last alive and gets a pull, it was really everything that happened before it that allowed FaZe to convert in overtime.
When you look at the flag caps, nothing felt clean. It always had to be step by step, process by process. This from SnakeBite, though.
Huge.
Absolutely what you want to see from a man who is, trust me, going into this series with a chip on his shoulder.
Yes. Make no mistake, just in case you're just joining us, first of all, welcome to the HCS Salt Lake City Major. This was here, deep in overtime. Suppressed, as we said, got away with everything he wanted, but this was what began the run. TriPPPeY's gonna start that flag run with 2 dead. That's the flag all the way to ring. And wasn't this something here when we were still with only 1 minute left? Fouls the last. Look at SnakeBite, just wasting no time. He knows he's gonna bring that flag all the way in, and he gets the kill on Foul as well.
I mean, Foul does everything he can in that situation as well. But it is that last second overshield pickup that's the difference of the few extra bullets being eaten and that flag going home in comparison to SSG maybe keeping that game alive. But Fortress, CTF, we close the book on that one. 2-1, FaZe now 1 up in the series. As we head towards game number 2, Streets is gonna be the map, Slayer is gonna be the game type, and it's a game type of 2 very different stories for both of these squads.
And how about the leading Slayers here? Lucid and SnakeBite, not only the new additions on FaZe Clan, but also, let's not forget, the ex-teammates on the SSG side for this season so far. They have shown up in a big way in Slayer here in Salt Lake.
I mean, look at those statistics, both of them in the positive. The kills per minute is right up there as well, and the damage diff is exactly where you want it to be. That means that every life you're shooting more people than are shooting you, and that's always a good thing to do if you're in a game like this. We're already into game number 2 here. FaZe up by 1. It's time to throw it down on the streets.
And make no mistake, that's a comeback win from FaZe. SSG was leading for 9 minutes of play, but FaZe early on find themselves 3 dead. SnakeBite is your last player alive.
Yeah, really good response here, just off the opening for Spacestation Gaming. Little things like that just give you a little bit more confidence after a disappointing game number 1. But FaZe have managed to get 4 back on the map here, so we do have a 4v4 scenario. Good teamwork and baiting and switching coming in from SSG though, but TriPPPeY somehow.
Wow, yeah. Trailing 5-1, and now makes it 5-2, and gets away with the camo. Even though there was 3 dead, you gotta wonder what has happened on the SSG side to get a 4 dead followed by a 3 dead.
How is he doing this as well?
What?
Oh, what? One-man army at the moment. TriPPPeY, SSG, just forgot about him.
Is that not a perfect encapsulation of what we just saw in game number 1 as well? Do everything perfect on the side of SSG. Get all the kills you need, lead, and then somehow TriPPPeY comes away with a camo, and now just like that, it's a 2-kill game.
SSG do keep that lead intact though. That's the biggest story here, even though TriPPPeY's done what he could. It's an advantage that SSG will hold on to dearly. Another kill now picked up by Falcated. As SSG just starting to find a little bit of confidence here, a little bit of momentum. It feels like they're getting that first pick more than once in those team fights.
Absolutely. StelluR wants to make sure he turns this series around. He's already 5-1, shooting very well here. Is of course a big contributor to that 3-kill lead early on. Things going to slow down just a bit until we see that next camo in play.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. We're going to see step by step, tiptoe by tiptoe, when it comes to moving around this map, when all teams have every player alive. 10 seconds left, and you think that SSG, the game plan's got to be, make sure we don't let that camo get away this time.
Absolutely. As your last player alive, TriPPPeY started to just absolutely poke holes in the SSG setup, and just like that, now a 1-kill game. Here's camo up bottom middle,
oh!
And there's 3 dead for SSG.
Yeah, StelluR was last alive. Camo goes to FaZe. Tie game. TriPPPeY had his fun last time with this. This time it's SnakeBite who's got the camo.
So far, when it has come down to it and a play call needs to be made, FaZe continues to win them, and now they take the lead for the first time in the game.
SnakeBite gets the pick, stays alive, keeps the camo, gets the info, and puts some more damage in, but look at Suppressed.
How annoying is this?
He got the Stalker rifle. And even though it looks like the trades are going to be even across the board, Suppressed did a really good job in that position to actually eke out a couple of extra kills.
How well did SnakeBite do with the new skill jump here on these stairs? Just continually popping back up with the camo and dealing damage exactly when he wanted to and how he wanted to. And he stays alive from the nade as well. They lead now by 3.
You mentioned the start that StelluR had. He's 5-3 at this point. Well, SnakeBite's 5-2 at this point. Lucid finds an opener, but immediately going to be traded out. There's another one. 6, 7. As a double kill is picked up here for SnakeBite, and you bet he's challenging Foul.
3 dead. Falcated stays alive in the L. He also has pink spawners. But most importantly for the side of FaZe, they take advantage of not just the camo, but they now lead by 4.
On me. Watch out.
There's 2 guys.
Let's get into it. Listen.
Push. Sorry.
I'm looking purple.
Got one more.
Pipe this guy's pipe.
Music, guys. Music on me. Music on me.
I'm trying to come back.
Okay, music.
One shot. Yep, give me it.
Camo's in 30 seconds. 30 seconds camo.
Hey, one shot, Joey.
Oh my god,
nice.
PJ.
You have to be real.
Yo, the RDP1, Joey. RDP1. Look, turn around.
I don't see him.
Camo's in 20 seconds. 20 seconds camo.
I don't see him.
He's close.
I don't see him.
He's just hiding.
I don't see benches.
Camo's in 15 seconds.
Yo, just jump through. Two drive a week.
I'm behind you, Joey.
One Mando as well, guys.
Yo, I have a smoke.
We have
Joey.
red gun.
Yeah. Go. Yo, just smoke it for me, Tommy.
Yeah.
Grab it, lead. We're 2 here.
Camo in 3 seconds.
You're out, guys.
Yeah, top out. 2 shot, top out. Top out and bottom sub.
Red,
Top
red,
out. I have to leave
one
Joey.
shot, 2 shot B stairs. 2 shot cuts. It's gonna be 2 left. And one
Yeah.
guy going bottom mid.
Oh, look right here. Look mid and right. Look mid and right.
Cuts, low cuts.
We're leaving left side. We're leaving left side.
Spikes.
Yeah, look
Look
P1.
P1,
Look P1.
look
Look
I'm
P1.
just hiding from tower. I'm hiding back tower.
Looking left.
Yep.
Guys.
Aimbot, yeah. Aimbot, lock it down.
Guys, I have a repull sticky. I'm going
Yo,
tires.
tires in arcade.
I'm
mean,
leaving
tires
you
are-
right, Tommy. I'm leaving you right.
All right.
Tires one.
Yo,
Tires one. Tower. One in tires.
Go, dead end. Have shields, Joey. Dead end. Flowers.
Go on, Joey.
Yo,
Nice, Joey.
No, only one more. P1. Last guy.
Last guy.
He's benches. Running out. He ran out.
I'm running this.
No, wait, let this
Your camo's out, Joey. Your camo's out.
Yeah, they got out. He got out. He's top out still.
Yo, I'm sitting posters. I'm not looking. I'm not helping PJ. I'm not helping you.
As we go out the listening phase, you could hear everything was going right for them. They get their 3rd camo of the game as well. And TriPPPeY says, hey, I've got a sticky repulse. I can make a play here. Make a play, he does. And that means TriPPPeY is 10-2 at this point.
Unbelievable. I think we're seeing it time and time again, as we said at the beginning of the game. When it comes down to it, when play calls need to be made, FaZe Clan is the team that is doing it. They now lead by 10.
Now trying to escape with no shields. He gets cut down. Spacestation's so split across the map at the moment. You see the StelluR's going to be on his own. TriPPPeY gets another kill. That's 12. He's plus 10. He's plus 10. And there's only 32 kills on the board here for FaZe.
Unbelievable the way that this game has played out. I'm so glad we got to hear that listening at the exact time that we did, because keep in mind, FaZe had only just gone into the lead by 1 off the back of the second camo. And now just like that, they continue to pick apart the SSG setup. Finally, Lucid's taken down. But as you said, it's TriPPPeY. How much have we talked about TriPPPeY in Slayers? He's 13-3 and tied for the most assists. The entire squad has 6 assists apiece. They are firing on all cylinders and firing together.
Well, during his previous run on Optic Gaming, where they became world champions, he earned the nickname Big Game Trip. Well, it's going to have to be Big Series Trip here if FaZe want to come through this against Spacestation Gaming. But he was one of the players who was exchanging words in those Twitch chats once these team trades went down. And him and SnakeBite at the moment are just dominating in this game too.
Here's the question, can StelluR turn this game around? He's got a little bit of camo left, and they only trail by 7. This is still within reach, despite what we've seen so far off the first half of the match.
Spacestation getting their first camo of the game. That's going to give them the chance to get the first kill in the team fight. But again, you heard it from the listening as well. FaZe just said aimbot. That means lock down lanes, focus on something together, and make sure that we get information. Pznguin gets that first kill though. StelluR gets 1, but you imagine he'd be traded out, but no, Eco's there to keep him alive.
Not over yet. 38-31, but man, did that camo ever dissipate at the wrong time. He just gets eagle-eyed out. Yes, he trades 1, but certainly SSG would have wanted more out of that.
SnakeBite versus Suppressed. Eco helps him out in that situation. Suppressed will survive, but the red gun now in the hands of Lucid. 11 to go here for FaZe to be 2 up in this series.
Still up by 7. They can really slow play this here. As you said, red gun in hand. They can look for the next power up as well. And so far, if we've learned anything, it's when the team needs to set up, FaZe Clan will win that exchange.
Not sure if that was a deliberate insta or the first nade decided for Lucid that he was going to have to play for the insta. Either way, doesn't connect.
I think you're right. I think it was the latter, but still makes a whole lot of damage
with all
around
due respect, of course.
caution and plants. Another kill comes in, 41-33 now.
SnakeBite gets his as well. Another 2 kills for him, and now the collapse comes in from FaZe.
Oh yeah.
2 players just damaged on the pink street. Respawners are coming in, but I don't think they're going to be able to help these 2 players out. Foul wins a 1v1, but it's going to be SnakeBite there who picks up his 15th of this game. And with 6 to go, Pznguin adds another. It's getting closer and closer to FaZe being up by 2.
Really nicely done. The speed of the rotate there to force players back onto pink. He knew the split spawners were not going to be spawning on neons, and instead they pick up the extra kills. They still lead by 9, as you say, 6 to go.
Difficult situation now for SSG as that camo has just popped, and SSG can't allow FaZe to just walk up and grab that power up. They need to contest it. And that's going to allow a couple of lines of sight to be picked up by FaZe, but with 3 dead, SSG make the play just before, and now Suppressed has a chance with the last player falling.
This is not over.
To formulate the start of a comeback here for Spacestation Gaming.
Not done yet. 3:36 on the game clock. That is an eternity. A lot of time to play with. They're only down by 6 here. Can they find what they need to get the kills on the board? They already lose 2.
Pznguin gets a double though. And maybe it might be too little too late here. FaZe have done so much of the heavy lifting in this game already that even a comeback at this point, it has to be without trades. Suppress gets behind SnakeBite. This is his beatdown. TriPPPeY and Lucid pick up kills as well. Suppressed and Eco last alive here, and it's going to be FaZe who close out with the 50th kill, 50 to 43, and FaZe one away from knocking out SSG.
And how about FaZe winning that game on the exact same average margin as well, right? Their average margin was 7.7 kills, and they do almost exactly that yet again in this game. And my goodness, do we have a lot to talk about what we just saw. And it felt like FaZe Clan was picking up exactly where they left off in that Fortress game. That was not only a momentum builder for them, but I think we have learned a lot about how these two teams match up. 50 to 43 is your final score in game number 2. Take a look at the players here on FaZe Clan. Even distribution of the work, without a doubt. It's both TriPPPeY and SnakeBite with 15 kills and 10 deaths each.
Just looking at some of the individual fights that we saw during that game as well, it felt like a lot of them fell to the POV of SnakeBite when we were watching, and he was winning them. Big series like this, experience is such a huge asset to have. You're not going to feel those nerves as much. You're going to be used to the situations you find yourself in that are essentially going to swing a game your way or lose the game for you. SnakeBite looks so comfortable in those 1v1s that he almost won the 1v1 and turned it into a double at times. And like we say, he's looking like the SnakeBite that you want on your team.
Let's look at some highlights here. TriPPPeY is down 5-1 with 3 dead.
I don't know how this happened.
I mean, I think SSG's got a lot to look at here on the tape. They've got a lot to look at. How on earth does the game go to tied at 11-11 after what we just saw? And look at this from SnakeBite. I love this. Just B-rail, look, quick jump back up. Quick jumps again, gets back up, does more damage. Just selecting his opponents and picking them apart. That's what the highlights are going to be here. It's FaZe picking apart SSG.
It's very similar to what we saw on day 1 from FaZe, right? It's not SnakeBite at times, you know, doing something ridiculous. It's him being able to contribute to work already done and making sure that that work is turned into success, turned into kills, turned into leads. The teamwork for FaZe here is looking so good. And Spacestation, to be honest, in that game just felt like they didn't have an answer.
Really, really interesting to see this play out because this has not been a back and forth where both teams are besting one another in different scenarios with a final score of 50 to 43. And you saw it based on the rotations. This has been FaZe Clan simply being the better team when any power-up or power weapon presents itself. FaZe Clan finds a way to not just get control of the map, but turn it into a significant lead and opportunity. Now, this is back-to-back games where SSG has led off the opening and lost the game in the end.
So now we move towards map number 3. We're going to have a little bit of a bomb game type coming up as we head over to Aquarius. Now, a little bit of a slower one historically, but it feels like teams with the more and more reps that they're getting now, Andy, the plants are coming in a little bit quicker.
They are. It feels like teams are simply getting the bomb either to front base or to util a little bit faster. Well, let's see what everything has laid us
50-50.
out in store so far. Here's your neutral bomb stats between these two in 2025.
Shout out Easy Mac for getting these stats together for us. I know when he saw this, by the way, he was very excited about it. He was like, it's a 50-50, split down the middle, send that in. And understandably so.
How the average plants to be within 1/10 of another is wild. How about within 1/100th of another on the KD? Nothing separating these two. And let's not forget, this is a fair comparison because you still have the same 8 players.
Yeah, it's true, actually. Yeah, that's very, very valid. Any combination of these players, this is where we find ourselves. And I think for SSG, they're going to hope that that becomes slightly more skewed in their favor. Otherwise, they are going to unfortunately have to swallow a very bitter pill here and lose to the team. And essentially, they said to the 2 players, we don't want you anymore.
And what a series it's been so far. I caught Lucid, I haven't mentioned this yet, by the way. I caught Lucid backstage before the series, and I said, hey, man, it was really my first time seeing him this weekend and being able to chat. And at the end, I said, I'm looking forward to the series. And in the most lucid way, he laughed to himself and he said, me too. And man, has he ever shown that he was looking forward to the series so far. It's been so interesting to see here what Lucid and team have been able to do because that Slayer was not close. The speed at which they were able to keep SSG 1 to 2 dead for the entirety of the game paved the way for them to be cleaning up the kills in the way they did. We saw that on screen, and I think FaZe fans and fans of the HCS who have been pulling for both Lucid and SnakeBite and the entirety of the new FaZe roster are going to be so impressed with what they've seen on the stage so far. However, we should remember we are in the home of SSG, a very big hometown SSG crowd, and this series is not yet over.
Yeah, got a little bit quiet in here, I will say, after the first 2 games, and they're going to need you. I'm going to say that in this game number 3, to get them back on track, to get that adrenaline going again. And if SSG can find a way to get that first bomb in, let me tell you, there's a way back into this series for them.
And we were just starting to discuss what we're seeing now these days on Aquarius, and I agree. I think teams are simply finding a way to make sure they're moving the bomb, say, car 1 faster or into the util faster. We'll see if that pays off here. Let's take a look at some Nujabom stats as well for Eco and Fal.
Yeah, fantastic stats coming in from Eco as well. I'll just jump out of the damage difference per minute. That is incredible when it comes to the statistics. And I think a lot of it is just because he has great positioning on Aquarius. He's very comfortable on this map. He's very comfortable knowing where he can position himself to help out his teammates in the most efficient way. And of course, staying alive as well, so important for them. Blistering boys at our end. Welcome back, everybody. Well, apologies for the silence there. Some of you might actually enjoyed it, but we're back into the game, and as you can see here, we're on Aquarius bomb, and hopefully we can cast our way through this one.
Suppressed, gets taken down there. 2v2 on the map in the back of the base here. We'll see what Fal can do.
Bomb will be brought back out of the base, and another pickup here. He's going to comfortably allow Falcated to move this bomb, from the base across bottom middle. TriPPPeY gets that kill. Suppressed answers back though, and Suppressed always feels like a confidence player. If he can get on a little bit of a run here and a double kill like that, he's going to put him in great stead.
And just getting into this game, you got to feel like on the SSG side, this is really not just do or die, but a big question of them. What has the past few months of work, what has that added up to? How do they stay alive in this series, or do they let their tournament run end here?
StelluR top pink at the moment. You can see the camo is about to pop. And StelluR just continuing to put pressure onto the FaZe side of the map at the moment. Bomb still down bottom middle, nobody making any progress on that. As SnakeBite flies back out and wins his individual fight.
Pznguin already here at 7-3 in this game to already come out with that many kills, and FaZe Clan already showing that in the slaying department. And keep in mind, let's not forget, when did we last see this? It was game number 1 when Pznguin was 20-11 before they had got that flag on the board. So if we use the comparison of the similarities between a flag and a bomb game, Pznguin already being 7-4 is dangerous territory for SSG.
Certainly is indeed. Still 0-0 at the moment on the score overall. 9 minutes 20 left on that game clock. Eco picking up a perfect though. That's going to get him going a little bit. Slow start in this as he now finds himself at 3-6 in this game. StelluR just searching for targets at the moment as the camo is coming up. He's got a good position top pink to at least fight for this, but look at the angles that FaZe have onto him. He's struggling to stay alive here, let alone think about the camo.
Yeah, yet again. I mean, how many times do we see it here? It has played out time and time again. If there is a power-up or a specific power weapon in play, especially at mid-map, FaZe has figured out how to get there early and how to take the steps as a team to secure these items. They do it yet again here with this second camo.
Another camo here for FaZe. TriPPPeY looking to be as effective with it as he was in that previous game. Should be a comfortable kill for him here as Suppressed flies it in with no shields. Bomb's going to be down, but kills are going to be the priority here. There's 1, there's 2. Can you make it 3, Trip? Can you give us the 3 stars? You got to deal with Fal. Does a great job to stay alive.
A little bit of deja vu. Falcated, your last player alive, and in the end, he gets the trade. However, this time, it's a little bit of a different circumstance. He stays alive long enough for his spawners to help, and now Suppressed will start to move the bomb. He's also leading on the team with 8 kills.
Suppressed having to move it, though, in a position which is away from the base, just a mid-map. But now with 3 dead, Spacestation can think about moving forward. Last player alive is going to be trapped on the pink stairs. That's going to be SnakeBite. It will be back flag or gen spawns here. For FaZe, Suppress is going to be flushed out though. It's such an important kill, but the trades are coming in. But where is that bomb? Have they got it progressing towards the base?
3 dead, Lucid, last player alive. There is one spawner in play. It could be SnakeBite now, who's a staggered last player. Now 4 dead yet again, and it will be a camo for SSG as the SSG fans start getting loud.
I think Eco really wanted to move that bomb in himself though. He has the camo, and I think he was waiting for someone else to take that responsibility. Unfortunately for him, nobody did. So he had to drop down with that camo, move that bomb, and now he's last alive. FaZe defend extremely well inside of their base, but just a hint of inefficiency from SSG.
Really well done. Also, all the way back to Lucid staying alive on stairs, just long enough for SnakeBite to enter the fray, and they keep things chaotic enough where Eco is forced to, as you say, be the last player alive with the camo. He will convert on the Lucid 1v1. TriPPPeY, by the way, also 12 and 9 on the other side as he takes the lead in the game in kills.
Big push coming in from FaZe though on the gen side. You can see where that bomb is. From a 3-4 dead situation now, Spacestation having to fight back into their side. Ooh. And it's gonna be Pznguin who wins an individual again against Eco. Falcated now on the car side trying to stay alive. Pznguin's gonna get some help from Lucid, and that bomb, even though it's been repositioned down bottom middle, pressure is on the SSG base.
You'd put your money on Eco to win that one with the thrust in the back pocket, but in the end, as you say, goes the other way. 2 dead here for SSG. Here comes Pznguin. 3 dead.
Really good shots. He should win this one. He does win this one. It's a 4 dead, and the bomb is moving in. The bomb is being planted, and FaZe might be close here in a second or so to going up by 1. They get the plant, and FaZe in a great spot in this game now.
And how about the fashion in which they do it? They found themselves, as we said, 3 dead, 4 dead. A staggered 5th kill comes in. Regardless, FaZe fights out of their base to get the first bomb on the board.
And TriPPPeY's still inside of your base, which is a problem, especially when you're still 2 dead. Falcated tries to fight his way back in. The defensive back nade comes in, but oh my, TriPPPeY! He is feeling himself in this series.
Ex-teammates there, and you're going to see continuous ex-teammate 1v1s happening in this series. It's been a pleasure to watch, and so far, FaZe has, as you see on the scoreboard, both on the series and the game, had the upper hand.
The obnoxious thing here that FaZe are doing as well, they're keeping that bomb moving towards the SSG side of the map. They're forcing SSG to turn around, even if they get kills, which is looking tough at the moment with the way that TriPPPeY is shooting. They have to be so aware of that position of the bomb.
You rightly made the comment that it needs to not only be big game trip, but big series trip. How about him being 17 and 11 in this game right now as well?
2 players trapped on the gen, both of them low shields. TriPPPeY wants to be a difficult death though. You can see Lucid finds one. Finally, SSG will double up onto him, as Lucid will now be last alive, but he's inside of the SSG base again. And look how frustrating this is. Lucid's just making 2 players come all the way back to deal with him, and now FaZe are already on the ping side.
Yeah, really well done. We'll see if FaZe can even capitalize. SnakeBite gets to the fridge right away, and he has help from Pznguin as well.
5 minutes left for SSG to find some rhythm, find an opportunity, find a way to get that bomb across the map, but they're being so heavily outslayed at the moment. It feels, from the POVs that you're watching, it feels impossible to get across the map.
It's amazing how they're doing this on this map as well, right? It's one thing in a Slayer Streets to be playing that way, but the fact that they're also continuing to apply the pressure and doing what we just saw, right? How long has SnakeBite been in the fridge? Just holding this, and Pznguin being so obnoxious, so annoying.
Still alive. Still alive. No shields. Doesn't matter. TriPPPeY now. Down Pznguin. He's been shooting pretty good and continues to do it.
Man.
How many fights is this man going to win?
And it all goes back to, as you had pointed out, it all goes back to Lucid staying alive in the back of the base, which paved the way for them to fly in. Now here they come with the bomb.
Look at the control that they've got as well. Everybody is stacked up. Everybody is holding hands. The arm comes in. Doesn't quite go in, but SnakeBite should be there to finish it off. It's 2 to good. FaZe are looking dominant.
3 dead yet again for SSG. Foul, your only player alive here down at Pznguin. And once again, it comes down to Lucid, last player alive. They hold fridge in Pznguin for about 1 minute 30 seconds, and they just wait. They wait for the kills to come in. They bait the hell out of Pink side and the fridge side. And guess what? SSG takes the bait, and they cannot get the kills. And off of that advantage, off of the actual slay advantage, they get the bomb tossed up right away. Before you know it, Lucid's already in your base, starting the arm, and they finish it. They lead 2-0 here.
Bomb moving again here for FaZe. 3 players having a wrap back for the pink side. Pznguin's here, but Pznguin explodes in a hail of frag grenades. That's going to be 3 dead here for FaZe. This is the chance, though, for map control for SSG. They need to get up the map here.
Not over yet, as we said. With the talent on SSG, 3:30 left, 2 bombs here. it is still possible, but my God, will it ever require something special with the way the FaZe clan is playing.
Well, they get on the map. The problem is, individual fights being won again by FaZe inside of their base at the mid-map point. Suppress now last alive. And if you're last alive, you can't even think about considering going towards that bomb. You can't even think about putting the pressure on the FaZe base. And SnakeBite flushes him out again.
Might even get another one here. Look at the damage coming out of SnakeBite right now. Might be 14 and 12, but 14 assists to his name.
Oh.
And gets the finish as well. By the way, we should check it on Pznguin. 23 and 14 right now. Unbelievable, monstrous numbers coming in from him.
Should be another kill going down here. 2 dead for SSG. Fouls across the map. Bomb being armed. 2 dead for SSG. 3 dead for SSG. 3 bombs planted. 3 games in the bag. It's going to be FaZe Clan with the sweep against Spacestation Gaming, and they send them home.
Little shrug from Lucid to the crowd. And let it be known, in Salt Lake City, FaZe Clan will send home the new SSG at home, a 3-0 clean sweep. And for now, we can say FaZe Clan has won the trade in Salt Lake. Of course, there will be a lot more Halo play this season for SSG.